What's up everybody, it's RobinGaming here. So it's time for a new episode of RobinGaming Answers. Haven't done one of these in a very long time, and yeah, as always, I mean, you know the deal. If you want to be featured in one of these episodes with your own question, simply leave those in the comments and I'll see if I can answer them in a next episode. For now I have 4 questions and a new kind of like spin-off thing I want to do with the series. So let's just immediately get into it. The first question here I have is from RROR 1993. What do you think of censorship, for example, in The Last of Us? I think with The Last of Us, yeah, he means that in the multiplayer component of the European version, they pretty much censored it. I think it was because of a certain German law or whatever. Is that, you know, they just pretty much censored it in a way that there wasn't as much blood and like brutal killings and stuff. I think it's pretty, and it speaks for itself, but it's pretty, you know, retarded that kind of stuff is in the game. I mean, it doesn't make sense. We're buying an 18+ game here. We know what we're gonna get into. We know what we can expect. All in all, I'd say it's a little bit, you know, stupid that there's censorship in a game. And if you're gonna have that, simply have some kind of like you know, option or whatever for it. Just say, yes, I want this to be censored or not. I want these brutal killings to be in the game, or simply, you know, show me a different animation that is less brutal than that. The second question from Francisco Gomez: have you ever considered quitting YouTube, and if so, why? Many times actually. I've actually considered quitting YouTube quite a lot of times, yeah. I think, you know, I've been doing this for 3 years now. I've always had this kind of like very big goal for it. I've never really reached maybe completely what I wanted to do with it. You know, at the same time, I'm very happy and grateful for the things I've achieved and reached. But yeah, I mean, it is, especially when I upload a video, I expect it to do well, and it just doesn't do well. That all the time, I'll feel very disappointed by that. You know, that's why, you know, people leaving likes and comments and, you know, the view count of a video being high, it's always a great feeling. That's what it gives me. And, you know, when I see that a certain video I made and put a lot of effort into just isn't kind of like reaching the same sort of like statistics and views and that kind of stuff than what I had expected, that always pretty much just, you know, disappoints me, and it makes me think, why am I still doing this? So if I had to be completely honest about it, yes, I've definitely considered quitting YouTube quite a lot of times, but you know, every time I'll just upload a new video like a few days afterwards, it'll do very well again, and I'm totally happy again, you know. So all in all, don't take it too seriously. I think I've pretty much come to the point where I accepted that I'll probably be doing YouTube for a very, very long time, and you know, it's never really gonna come to the point where I'm totally gonna quit. It would just mean I would be uploading much less, you know, at some point maybe. But making YouTube videos, I think I'll be doing, you know, for years to come, to be quite honest with you. The third question from CEDRIC van ROEYEN, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. It's a Dutch name though. Is it hard to become a software developer? What should I do? I get this question from a lot of, you know, people like, Robin, I want to do kind of like the same study you do, software engineering. What is it really about? What should I do to, you know, to know if I'm going to like this and stuff? And I'm always going to be like, you know, me, when I went into the software engineering course, I didn't really know what to expect, and I'd always thought programming would be something I would be, you know, I would very much like and would very much suit me. In the end, it turned out to be very, very hard. My first year, I struggled a lot with, you know, programming in particular, which is just, you know, pretty much the biggest part of the whole course. What I would say is try to get some more experience with programming in general before actually starting a course, and do some more research into what you're going to be doing. This is going to define what you're going to be doing with your life for the next 40 years or so, or whatever, you know, when you also get a job after your college degree and stuff. Yeah, I mean, all I can say is, I think the Java language, which is the language I've been learning ever since the start of my programming, you know, study, I think that's a very nice kind of like entry-level programming language that is also, you know, it comes very much in handy, because for things like Android and stuff, you know, programming for the for telephones or whatever, yeah, you're going to need that language. So if I were you, just look up some tutorials. Some of these have really helped me. For example, a YouTuber called The New Boston does Java tutorials, and they've they've always really helped me. So I would say go and watch like, you know, 20 or 30 parts of that. They're all like 5 minutes. Just, you know, code along with him, see if you like it, and then if you do, you will have more of an idea if you actually, you know, want to get into software development, and if you actually like it, and, you know, then you can also of course just do, you know, way more of these tutorials without even necessarily needing to do like a college study or whatever. Yeah, that's all I would say. Just get some more experience with it. The final big question of today comes from Anime Fan 17. What do you think of changing the developer for a game series? So if you have a certain game series that is very successful, and you know, then basically, you know, developers get changed, somebody else starts working on it. For example, think of the Batman series, where I think it was, what was that one called? Arkham Origins, that's the one, right? Yeah, Arkham Origins was made by a completely different studio than Rocksteady. You know, like, what do I think of that? I think pretty much it's always, you know, it's always a bad thing. Usually they do this when developers kind of get tired of the series, want to start something new. So what they do is they, you know, get a different developer to work on the same series, because it's still very much a money-making series for that certain publisher. So all in all, I'd say it's always, to be quite honest with you, you know, a bad thing. You know, what I actually wanted to do in this episode of Robin Gaming Answers is introduce some new kind of like thing, which is pretty much just quick-fire questions. You know, I have like 4 questions here. I'm simply going to answer them with yes or no, and then maybe a short explanation afterwards. And I'm doing this to kind of like keep the video at good length, and at the same time still answer a lot of questions. The first one from Mohammed Mustafa: do you ever play mobile or tablet games? No, I don't. I have my PS Vita for playing, you know, in the train or whatever when I'm going to school. And at home I always play on my console. The second one from Casp100: who is your favorite assassin in the Assassin's Creed series? I would say it's Edward Kenway. Ezio would probably be my number 2, although that's most likely going to be most people's number 1 pick. I really liked Edward Kenway, thought it was a great character, probably my favorite assassin from all the games I've played. Nino Oliveira asks, do you like any fighting games? I've played fighting games, you know, a few of them. I have like Street Fighter on my Vita, and I played PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, but generally, you know, I'm not a fan of fighting games. It's just, you know, not my genre. And then the last question already is from Ryan Mansour: do you think there will be an Uncharted 4 bundle? Yes, no doubt, 100% sure there's going to be an Uncharted 4 bundle. Why would there be no PS4 bundle with arguably, you know, what is going to be Sony's biggest system seller? So, yeah, I mean, these were already the 8 questions I wanted to pretty much answer in this episode, so that went pretty quick, I'd say. I hope you enjoyed the episode, of course. If you have any questions for me, let me know those in the comments, and I'll see if I can answer them in a next episode. And then I'd like to thank you a lot for watching, and I hope to see you again next time.